Botox,
breast implants,
whitening,
nose jobs,
liposuction,
reductions,
arm lifts,
thigh lifts,
tummy tucks.
These are just a few of the many procedures women all over the world subject themselves to in order to achieve some standard of physical beauty set by their culture. These cultural definitions of beauty are age-old and ironically very different from one another. A Brazilian's definition of beauty is quite different than a Korean's definition, and the same could be said for an American and a Venezuelan. What's interesting about these ideas of beauty is that they have the ability to be paralyzing. Despite being very different, they are often the same in the effects they can have on women's livelihoods. From eating disorders and unhealthy relationships to thousands of dollars spent a year on cosmetics and procedures, women lose more than they think when they try to reach unattainable standards of beauty.
Esther Honig, a freelance journalist based out of Kansas City, sent an unaltered photograph of herself to more than 40 Photoshop aficionados around the world. "Make me beautiful," she said, hoping to bring to light how standards of beauty differ across various cultures. Working with freelancers in over 25 countries, Honig expected that the images would differ from country to country, but was herself caught off guard by just how drastically some of the images were altered. The images Honig has collected so far are interesting as individual images, a unique portrait of the standards of beauty in each country. However, when taken in totality, the project becomes much more striking, an interesting launching point into a global conversation about unattainable beauty standards around the world.
The pursuit of beauty has historically been for the purpose of improving one's position or role in a social hierarchy. From the dark eyeliner of the Egyptians to the fair complexions of the Romans, these different characteristics have helped indicate status and wealth. The same can be said for today's societies. However, women's desires to alter their physical appearance seem to have greatly increased, with 8 out of 10 women claiming to be dissatisfied with their reflection in the mirror. It is this dissatisfaction and desire that leads to altercation. In China, the standard of beauty is particularly rigid. All of the girls are expected to be guai, a word meaning docile and obedient.
For the Chinese, beautiful is fair, smooth skin, big eyes, small feet, and straight dark hair. Historically, Chinese women have gone to extreme measures to meet these standards of beauty, including binding of the feet, a practice used to create the small feminine feet desired. Writer Doris Vitak remembers growing up in China, watching friends stare into the mirrors, opening their eyes wide enough to create a crease. Most Asians desire these large, wide eyes as they add to the femininity of a woman's appearance. The Chinese also expect women in their culture to be very thin. This desire to be skinny is also a recurring characteristic in American and European cultures as well.
In America, becoming beautiful is a very expensive process. Women spend a total of $7 billion per year on cosmetics, in addition to the extreme costs of plastic surgeries that are so common. The vast majority of American women believe that a curvy figure is the most attractive kind, yet 97% of them wish they were smaller and weighed less. English-speaking European and First World Western nations are often broadly share in the same conflicting messages of beauty found in America. Britain has a similar struggle with popular messages promoting unattainable thinness, leading to weight issues and widespread dieting among women. 1 in 4 are on a diet, and over 50% of girls say that girls their age struggle with body images. In Australia, eating disorders affect 1 million people and cost the economy $70 billion a year.
Body image issues have also led women in Brazil to undergo surgical procedures in order to change the way they look. Plastic surgery in Brazil is common because Brazilians favor larger butts and chests. While they favor these larger characteristics, they also want their women to have small figures, particularly small waists. However, the most important aspect of Brazilian beauty is arguably the fairness of one's skin. Whitening or lightening of the skin is also a common practice in Brazil. Historically in Brazil, the lighter the skin, the higher one's place in the social hierarchy. With $42 billion in beauty sales last year, it is clear that Brazil's emphasis on beauty is one of the largest in the world. One of the biggest reasons women strive to alter their physical appearance is for men. Researchers have explained that in nature, physical appearance plays a central role in mating. The same thing can be said for humans. In a study done by Allure in 2012, men said that women are their most beautiful at age 28. In a similar study conducted by Allure earlier in 1991, men voted 31 to be the hottest age. Men desire younger-looking women, often subconsciously for reproductive reasons. Knowing this, women are constantly trying to enhance their physical attractiveness in order to make themselves more appealing to their male counterparts. In addition, women spend huge amounts of money on clothes, cosmetics, and other products and services that enhance their physical appearance. One might argue that this is further evidence of insecurity about their appearance produced by the burden of being evaluated by men. Yet, men often claim a frustrating obliviousness to the beauty endeavors of their girlfriends and spouses. The truth is that women's insecurity about their appearance is driven by competition with other women. We see this quite clearly in connection with the slender standard of attractiveness, where women wish to be more slender than is seen attractive by men. The reason, of course, is that they want to beat their competitors, other women.
Media, social, and peer pressures influence the way teens see themselves. Their mental perception of what they look like can be distorted, leading them to engage in risk behaviors when they feel they don't measure up to the impossible goals set in front of them. Self-image issues can lead to eating disorders, drug and alcohol use, cutting, bullying, and sexual addictions. Females ages 15 to 24 are 4 times more likely to die from anorexia than any other cause of death. Of these 8,000 women in the U.S., only 30 to 40% of them are expected to fully recover. In 2012, almost 42,000 Americans died of drug overdoses, and 23.9 million more were active users. Besides the potential fatalities, these self-image related issues create problems in people's everyday lives, affecting every relationship a person has because of the all-consuming obsession with the way that they look.
Body image disorder is considered a disease. Often those affected by anorexia and bulimia, among other disorders, see themselves as larger than they are no matter how many times they see or hear differently. This is a short video illustrating the dangerous effects of this disorder.
Social media, cultural traditions, and simply the desire to seem attractive have and continue to affect the lives of women every day. The means by which women try to meet unattainable beauty standards are not only costly, but can also have irreversible and fatal effects.
Through this seemingly endless pursuit, women end up losing a lot more than they initially set out to gain. It's time we loved ourselves, and while that is easier said than done, the first step to acceptance is awareness. And that is why this is an idea worth sharing.